Hi, this is Chris. Today I will talk to you about what I think is the best way to use mobile backends. And when I say mobile backends, I mean services that your apps can connect to share information and functionality. First, I will go through what some of that functionality can be, and then I will give you some examples of the most popular mobile backend services, and also how I think they should be used. As I've shown in some of my previous videos, it's fairly simple to set up your own server and services in the cloud. But if you want to avoid the work that goes into implementing and maintaining your own server, you could make use of the many mobile backend services that provide much of the functionality that a mobile solution needs. That functionality can be things like storage of data and files, push notifications, analytics, and last but not least, server-side logic. And I will come back to why I think the logic piece is important. Some popular mobile backends are Apigee, Appear, Backendless, Build.io, Cloud9, Encore, FeedHenry, Key, Kinvey, Parse, mobile apps on Amazon, and the Google Mobile Backend Starter and Microsoft's Azure Mobile Service. What they offer differs, and so does the pricing, but most charge for the number of requests. One thing that most of them also have in common is that you need to adopt a client-side SDK that handles the connection to the backend service. This is important to remember because it makes your integration with the server side specific to that service, and it will make it harder to switch service provider in the future. In contrast, if you build your services using standard interfaces like simple HTTP requests that return JSON, as I've shown in previous videos, you are free to use any cloud provider to deploy those services. One service which is very common is the storage of data, and most of the mobile backend services provide simple ways for your app to create, update, delete, and query data. But here comes my main concern, because I don't think it's a good idea to use that kind of service. And the reason is the same as why it's not a good idea to use a pure REST service. It all comes back to the purpose of omnichannel services, and that is to serve a number of different clients with the same functionality. If you only use the server to store data, you have no other option than to implement the logic on the client side in the app. That becomes a real problem when you want to use the same functionality on different platforms, because then you need to implement the same logic on each client platform. Not only would that mean extra work in both initial implementation and maintenance, but it will be really hard to make sure that the logic is the same on all channels. Instead, I suggest implementing the logic on the server side. And as it turns out, most of these services actually offer the ability to do that. Even if their getting started samples often miss this point. For example, the Parse service offers something called Cloud Code and Cloud Functions. And the nice detail is that it creates a clean, non-proprietary HTTP interface that returns JSON. The Cloud Functions are implemented in JavaScript, which is very common with most of these services. So if you are using any of these mobile backend services, make sure that you implement the logic on the server side and not on each mobile platform. And with that, I wish you the best of luck with your app projects. Thank you.